private. What? Are we streaming? All right, let's get it going. Greetings and salutations, Internet. We are here to discuss how we can make Israel Kemet again. If you are unfamiliar with Kemet, means the black soil, the black land. And it got its name because the people who live in that area, due to the climate, their skin's darker. Yeah, Africa, it tends to do that. Some people call that the Middle East. I call it North Africa, West Asia. But, we are fed atrocious amount of lies about our history. We're so topsy-turvy, upside down, that some people have been brainwashed into believing that white people who come from the Caucasus Mountains or Caucasus Mountains, however you want to pronounce it, that is, they're entitled to Kemet now. Now they call it Israel, they call it Palestine, they call it Jordan, they call it Sudan, they call it Egypt. But yeah, all of that land, all the lines that we know, that's like European colonizer lines. That's like Sykes and Picos, garbage human beings, worthless. They contribute nothing to society. They only extract, steal. And then they create a patent system that makes it seem like everything has been created in the past 100 and so years. Not like they had lights in the pyramids. Like we were just so fucking misled into believing that these rich dickholes are the ones who further all of our society, and it's not them holding everything back. That's why they have no consistency in their story. Like countries, all these Western countries, these Western democracies, they're proving how undemocratic they are. They're now shutting down all the free speech because when they start running out of lies, they do not let you question. And they do not want to be questioned because their narrative falls apart immediately. People like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, these self-made billionaires who shot out of a rich dude's nutsack, government connected, welfare recipients, like beyond what we know as welfare, like we talking about billions of dollars. Welfare queen. I got a crown. This is a crown I had to earn. King of the struggle. I've been through it. I never got $1 million in government subsidies. Never happened to me. But then again, I don't need it. It's only worthless people who need $100 billion or 300 or 400 billion, whatever the fuck Elon Musk his net wealth is at. And he's all the way down with Israel because South Africa colonized, stole land from the indigenous people. Then when they got kicked out, a lot of them moved to Israel. It was like, let's take what we learned over there. Meanwhile, the people who are actually indigenous to this land in America, like your Native Americans and your Mexicans, I mean, really just turtle islanders, because it's all the same thing. They just got colonized with different tongues. But they have no right on this land. It's crazy to talk about giving this land back. But Israel should go to a bunch of white people who have no connection to it. See the inconsistency? That's why it's just like we want the West to live on principles. We want it to be a principled civilization. It's not a civilization. That's the first issue, and it's not principled. Civilized people don't go to war, don't commit genocide. They take care of the population before they go and bomb a bunch of children. But um, yeah, but we're told that they're the good one, the most moral army. Black people are violent. Uh, uh, Palestinians are violent because we start the clock when they respond to the state violence and the colonial violence that is inflicted upon them. So, yeah, fuck their narrative. Uh, Make Israel Kemet again. Nigga, can we talk about some black pill shit? Black pills, you talking about like Ozempic? I ain't here to hype up no pharmaceutical nothing. Is that the black pill? Is that the new COVID vaccine? I don't know. I'm done with this political shit. But there you go. Quitters are never winners. Spitters are quitters. Um, I didn't even know I can get a request for someone to join. I'm boycotting African stores. It feels good. Boycotting African stores. It's funny you said that. I'm actually uh, um, trying to put together a trip to Africa for students who didn't get to go. Um, and I wanted to have like a continued relationship with African partners so we can like help support their economy. Like I want to go to Burkina Faso, Ghana, um, help support their economy, also get some travel under the belt. Um, Also build a ongoing partnership where it's just like, the local economy is benefiting as well as uh, economies we want to stand in solidarity with. Yeah, so I would not boycott any African. Maybe it's like one of the African leaders who's a bitch to the West. I'm all about that, but South Africa, Ghana, Chad, um, the whole Sahel region, really. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how to make it so that they don't go under. They don't go the way of Gaddafi. And a lot of people they support South African colonizers like Elon Musk. That's an African company I will avoid. Not buying a Tesla. I want to go to Burkina Faso and get one of their EVs. But hey, that's just me. All tethers will see ice. All tethers. All tethers. Talking about tetherball, connections, I don't know. Is that a typo? Anyways. Uh, it's just, I feel like this just needed, not beyond being needing to be said, something needs to be done. And this is like, why we need to figure out how to show solidarity with people actually doing the right stuff. Because I don't want to just go to African countries. I also want to go to one of the only European countries that shows solidarity with Palestine. That's the people of Ireland, um, because they intimately understand what we're facing. Because uh, uh, the current form of colonization taking place in Palestine was taught by the British. Um, the famine or starvation, that was inflicted on the Irish. Um, and then they funded the Nazis. Yeah, the British, yeah, they love them some Nazis. They even dress up like Nazis for Halloween. They funded the Nazis. We brought the Nazis in with Operation Paperclip. Jewish people, I mean, white Jewish people that we associate with Judaism. The first Jews, let's never forget, they were black Africans, just like the first Europeans, black Africans. Um, um, but yeah, the Ashkenazis, um, they're in big support of the Nazis too, because the Nazis helped uh, for their help their narrative, because they're already signed over the land to a bunch of white settlers back in 1917 during the Balfour Declaration. Hitler came around. They funded Hitler, the rise of Hitler. That's the American businessmen, British royalty. Then they used the shit that he did, the evil that he did to white people. Let's get it out of our heads that it was just Jews. It was, they're going after socialists. They're going after people who want to revolutionize the way society was structured. So those were the targets. Then they just pulled the story out of their arse. Oh, the Jews is the Jews, and then they use that. Oh, look at how bad the Jews are being treated by these white Europeans. Let's go and steal some more brown people land. And let's never forget World War One. World War One. What was World War One over? Right, his king was it Franz Ferdinand? He got assassinated. Yeah, yeah, that's what we get told. But it was just like all of these other countries were over leveraged in debt. They were signing on to these contracts. So if something happened, they had to jump in to do some bullshit. And it's just like this one death triggered all of this other death. But it was really World War One was really about a bunch of colonizing powers fighting over territory. So the Germans, they feel like they got the raw deal. They got like Namibia and Africa. They wanted like, they had bigger sites. Like they want fucking Congo, which ended up going to King Leopold, Belgium. They wanted all, they were like, we're getting the raw deal. We're more efficient at killing these Negroes than anybody else. We should get all the land. And then they started like having infighting over who got what. That's what World War One was, right? World War Two, they got a bunch of fucking bullshit narrative, spit shine on this turd, but it's more of a continuation of the same shit. Like after the fall of the Ottoman Empire, it's like, as a matter of fact, Palestine, that's ours. They were like carving up the world again. And then everything is just like it's painted like we got heroes. World War II, America was the hero. We are the policemen of the world. That really we're the enforcers. We're Joe Pesci and Goodfellas. We're just like the violent, unpredictable shithead who and all of the violence that we do is in benefit of other countries. So Iraq War, that was not our war. That was Britain's war. They went in like 1919, 1920 originally, um, overthrowing the democratically elected leadership in Iran. That was Britain because that was for BP. Uh, Vietnam, that was the French war. The genocide going on in Gaza right now, that's Israel. All these European powers, uh, even though Israel claims it's African or they say Middle Eastern, but they're going after the land of the Kemet. I mean, they want it because they want to take the prestige that comes with the history of that land. Meanwhile, they shit on anybody who looks like the people who come from that land. So they had a Gaza um, uh, a ship that went over to bring food to the starving Palestinians, and the only person who got his ass beat while being unarmed, trying to feed starving children, was a black dude named Christian Smalls. Ironically, he looks more like anybody who came from Kemet than the Israelis who say that that's their land, and maybe that's why they targeted him specifically. Because, like, how dare you come back to this land? Are you gonna claim the land? This is our land now. This is Israel land. It's white folk land. Uh, and it's just like, and they say you're anti-Semitic for calling out their racist bullshit. Meanwhile, if you are a black Jewish person like the Ethiopian Jews, you get sterilized systematically by the government. So it's like I said, it's the narrative is falling apart. I just hope more and more people are in disbelief when they hear some of this crazy shit that gets uttered. I feel like I'm eavesdropping on the conversation because of the camera angle. Oh, sorry. No, I had like um normally I use phone for um Rumble, and then I use the iPad for uh Instagram, but I had to switch it up because last time it didn't work, so I couldn't get both. So yeah, so I have like this my phone in like this weird position. So I'm just going to reposition it. Sorry about that. Also looking for it. Look like somebody's got like the King of the Hill cartoon for their display picture. I'm looking forward to the reboot of the show. That was like a show I remember hating when I was a kid, but my dad used to crack up. I used to watch The Simpsons before it, and then that show came on, and I'd be like ready to change it, but my dad, he'll be like dying laughing at it, and I didn't understand it because I was still, still a youth. And then I got older, and then I better understood Hank's Hill position. But looking forward to it. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but let me know. What's good, homie? Oh man, the blessings are abundant. Even in my burden, uh, um, it's just so many opportunities. But um, yeah, it's gonna be a busy month. Busy, busy, busy. And I just gotta I gotta get my ducks in a row for this studio thing. I've been like trying to map out um, the classes I want us to have for the summer. It's like Liberation Summer School, basically. I was in the middle of watching it, but the power went out. Oh, King of the Hill? Yeah, maybe that's a sign. You should switch to propane and propane accessories. I tell you what. What if they wanted you in Kemet? What if they wanted me in Kemet? Who are they? I mean, uh, who's to say I'm not from Kemet? I got all the Kemetic hieroglyphs. I mean, maybe not this lifetime, but previous lifetimes. I am connected. See, I got the Kemetic art in the back. Don't ever call it Egyptian, because all of these symbols were created before the Europeans discovered it. So Kemet didn't become Egypt until the Greeks came over and got white and figured out how to get the white people out of their first dark period when they reconnected with Africa after living in caves during an ice age, turning to cannibalism and doing fucked up shit. Then coming out, reinventing the wheel, uh, and then taking credit for everything they discovered in Africa. Then losing it. Let's not forget the second dark ages, um, where Africa, the same people, the same Kemetic people, they moved from uh, Egypt or Kemet um, to Mali Um, and then the current people who are occupying Israel, they took their story. It's like, oh, that was us, that was our people. But yeah, those people, they moved from Kemet to Mali, right? And then while the Europeans were going through their second dark age, they lost everything that they learned in Africa. They were like back to eat, drinking shit water, getting dysentery, not washing themselves, black plague, all kinds of horrific shit. Um, then those people who the travelers from Kemet who went to Mali, the Moors, they went into Europe for over 800 years. 800 years. You don't hear about that. They still have Moorish temples. They still have shit that was put up by the Moors, and this wasn't slavery, but they just put up quality work for 800 years. Then uh, um, 1492 was it Queen Isabel and King was it King? I think it might have been King Ferdinand. Uh, um, uh, they they funded uh, Columbus at the start of the Spanish Inquisition. Well, it was really a European Inquisition. You know, they had Italian Inquisition. They had all these inquisitions to kick out the Moorish ideology, and all of the hate that Europeans associate against Jewish people was originally directed at the Moors because they were considered the bringers of Abrahamic religion, as Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. So it was like they hated the ideology. So they spent 500 years kicking the ideology out. All of the racism towards the Jews, that was all them. That's all the white people. And for for these vile people to say that they're going against anti-Semitism when they're the ones who created anti-Semitism, and they're using that as a reason to steal more brown people land, like like they need any other reason. It's particularly vile. It's like George Bush after starting the war on terror, which is really a war on brown people. Started all the hate against all the brown people. That like everyone thinks a brown person is Muslim, and we all hate Muslims, right? Okay, so if you take George Bush, uh, uh, and then he's like, you know what? I hate seeing how these Muslims are being treated. So I switched to Islam, and now I demand my own land. So I'm going to go over to Kabul or pick any fucking city, country in the world, with people who look different than him. And he's like, that's my land now because that's my people. And if you hate that I'm still in this land, you're Islamophobic. That's what it's like when people start saying, "Oh, you're anti-Semitic for being against the most hate-filled, violent, colonizing forces." Uh, no, it's no hate in my heart for being against starvation. It's hate in your heart, and all of your shit is just projection. And quit pretending that motherfuckers hate you because you wear a yarmulke and you read the Torah. People hate you because you're evil and you do evil shit, and then you claim to be the victim, and then like it's just the gaslighting, like, oh, we're not starving people, even though like right after October 7th, they were like, yeah, we're going to starve them. We're going to make sure nothing gets in. The Israeli government officials are saying this stuff out loud. Then once they start showing people starving, they're blaming Hamas because the Hamas, they're so evil. And how in Israel they have the most moral army. It's all garbage. So once again, make Israel Kemet again, because Kemet, it was a beacon of hope. I mean, everything that they talk about, the Egyptians, they use slave labor. Everything is a projection of their own. They just try to look into, uh, um, the stuff they find and just extrapolate whatever narrative they want. Have there been tyrannical pharaohs? More than likely, because we're talking about many, many millennia of civilization. Many, many millennia. Like before, by the time Arabs entered the land of Kemet, they were already on their 13th dynasty. All right. And these dynasties ain't short. Dynasties can go longer than the country of America. Right. Um, and, they talked about just like the Babylonians and other ancient civilizations, they talk about aliens. Planet Nibiru is supposed to be coming in our orbit every 3,800 years, right? What's the Gregorian calendar at? What's this? It's at 2025. It's nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing. That's why all the Western society is obsessed with a 5,000 year timeline. It's a why 5,000 years? Like we've been creating civilizations for hundreds of thousands of years. Why 5,000? Well, that's when they started. We were talking about like these rich Rothschild, like what is it? The Rockefellers, all the monopolistic families, the families that just come from generational wealth that you can't even imagine. That's when they started tracking their ancestry, and they think that the world started once their people started getting power and then throwing civilizations into the garbage can, just lighting them on fire and just leaving nothing to go through. Um, that's their claim to fame, 5,000 years, right? But you look at a country, because Abraham, the Abrahamic religions guy, he came from Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they've claimed to have the Holy Grail for over 5,000 years. Like I think it was like 5,000 year BC is when they claim to have it in tow. So for over 5,000, like for well over the longer than the time Europeans have had history, Ethiopia has been claiming the Jesus's goblet. the and Yeah, so it's just like just don't stick to their narrative. If you still believe in this bullshit that they tell you, I feel sorry for you. You're going to be easily misled. If this is the apex of society, all the suffering and just like we can't seem to spend money on anything that's not destructive. Um, yeah, that's like that evil shit. I'm a builder in a land of destroyers. Israelis are imposters too. Yes, they are. Anything to get you to worship Africa. And it's a lot. Africa's got a lot of stuff to boast about. We don't hear about it. They don't want us to take pride in it, but it is. That's why I want the students to be able to go to Africa so they can understand it. Because the hatred of their own land. We're all African. Everybody's African. We shouldn't call Black people African Americans, right? Everyone, that's the source. We're all tapped into Africa. If anything, if we're going to have a disclaimer for any people, it should be for white people. Just Caucasian American. It's just time means you spent time in the Caucasus Mountains. Like I was in the last ice age. I feel like that's important because in that we start talking about different mindsets. Some people have a lack mindset because you have limited resources and you get run by psychopaths who kill and destroy and prevent other people from getting what they feel is theirs. Um, and maybe that makes sense when you have nothing. But right now, like to spread it around the world, uh, that means we have people who have everything, more money than they could ever spend, enough money to wipe out all of the world's problems, and no amount is enough. No one ever just like, okay, I got $1 billion. You know what? It's going to be my job to spend this money. It's like, no, I got a billion. I need 100 billion. I need 200 billion. Now I need to be a trillionaire. It's like, at what point do you just say enough is enough? Because it's not about the money. It's about making sure you people have none. So they don't just need them to have all the money. They need you to be desperate. So you'll do some strange things for some change. How many COINTELPRO have been discovered in Kemetian circles? I would imagine that's their primary source of finding out if someone's trouble. You know, they said they were looking for uh, the next Jesus, the Black Messiah. Um, you know, so Black Panthers. That's how they got Fred Hampton. Um, that's how they got so many leaders. You know, you strong sense of self. You can reach all kinds of people. Then you get targeted because they can't allow that. That's a non-starter. Why do you think they are bombing the only neighbors that didn't kick the Jews out when they were given Israel? Really? Um, and it ain't got nothing to do with Judaism. Nothing to do. I mean, the narrative, yeah, they center that around Judaism because they create World War II. Let's never forget, we funded the Nazis, not we, not I. I'm talking about my government brought them in Operation Paperclip. British government brought them, funded them. Uh, um, they wanted the Nazis to be ruled by someone like Hitler. That's why they selected Hitler. And then when he does all this shit, that then it's just like, oh look, poor us. Look at these poor victimized white people. Never trust a white person playing the victim. Never. That's why it's just like I see all the white transgender Jewish people. It's like, no, I'm twice. I am a minority two times over. I'm a transgender Jew. Yes, I'm rich. I'm extremely wealthy, but that has nothing. You should not criticize me. And it's just like, yeah, this is a way of avoiding like talking about the atrocious shit they do. Yeah, I'm invested in the for-profit prisons. But if you criticize that, it's because I'm a transgender Jewish person. Never, I mean, really, anybody who plays the victim. So right now, they'll put a black face out there, and it's a black person who's untouchable. You can't question. Like a Kamala Harris, they said you're sexist and racist if you question her, right? Meanwhile, nothing that she was about was advancing anybody except for her rich donors, right? So it's just like, yeah, these people who they tell us we can't question, um, these are the people that we need complete recalcitrance towards. That means just do not play their game, do not comply. Um, you need to get out there in the streets, start fighting, setting shit on fire. Um, yeah, because they're not listening to you. Cheap viewers. Okay. The IDF tried to recruit me. I can believe that. They tried to recruit me too. Well, they tried to recruit my police. They trained my police to come and crack my head. So, all of the police harassment that I filmed, especially in California, that was training by the IDF. They go out to Israel, train on how to beat up Palestinians, then come back to America. And then they crack my head. That's why I identify as a Palestinian, because we have the same oppressor, right? When my largest channel got taken down in 2014 by something called the Atlantic Council. Um, Before they came after my channel, they were shutting down Palestinians. Why? Well, I think you know why now, because this shit is not new. This shit has been going on before October 7th. What's good, Nate? Life ain't too shabby, you know. Being able to breathe, I find that kind of good. Have you noticed all our black male role models have been exposed or put in dresses? Um, they only keep the black celebrities in the pocket so they could jettison them when they need a distraction. Epstein got arrested. Everyone wants accountability for his client list. People are like, "What? When are we going to start arresting some billionaires? These motherfuckers got too much money. They got too much power." He's talking to Timothy Geithner with he's connected. We're paying taxes to the Epstein list, right? So once people are just like catching on, then it's like, okay, let's give the people R. Kelly. Look, he peed on children. Okay, sure, yeah, lock him up. I mean, he did some inappropriate stuff. Sure, why not lock him up? When he was still selling out concerts, kids were still showing up to his show. Kids knew who he was. That would have been a good time to lock him up. But they locked him up after his prime, I guess. They decided to lock him up when he's no longer doing anything. Just like, okay, I guess that's something. Um, Still, what's up with the Epstein list? We're going after the Epstein list. I mean, these people, like they're telling us what we have to do during COVID. Like they're telling us what to inject like they're continuing to force themselves into people, but instead of their penises into children, it's their medicines into working citizens of the world. Um, but it's like, okay, you really want to do something about that? Let's go after Diddy. We'll give you Diddy, and let's talk. Let's give you all the dirt on Diddy. Look how horrible he is. They allowed all the memes. They didn't ban anything. It was like, if you want to talk shit about Diddy, have at it. We'll throw in Bill Cosby. We'll throw in whoever. Like the black people, those are the sick people. They're disgusting. Look at Diddy. Look at Cosby. Look at R. Kelly. Okay, sure. Are we ever going to look at Epstein? Because those people have considerably more power than any of these artists that you arrested. But yeah, they only keep the artists around so they can, they put you on a pedestal so they can knock you off when the time is due. It's like break glass in case of emergency. And the emergency is people catching on to the fact that we're run by psychopaths. So yeah, they give the black people to the crowd. They feed them to it. It's just like the public lynchings. Pick a nigga, get a picnic, and then just watch the lynching. Um, but it's nothing new. I don't get mad at white people for doing it because they're not doing it because they're black. It's just before black people existed. It was like what is it? The movie Braveheart, William Wallace. Like when they didn't have black people to torture, they just tortured each other. Anybody who contested their power, and now it's just like with everything so racialized, it's easier for people to identify with the power source if it looks kind of like them, even though they have more in common with the dark skinned people who are being thrown on the campfire. You would be a lot better off if you can unite with those people as opposed to the Epstein crowd. But hey, what do I know? Ooh, what part of California? What part of California? What? Recent one, Will Smith. LOL. Have you seen that shite? Recent one, Will Smith. You talking about? I don't know. I guess he got like a new album or something. I haven't been keeping up with the news. I was going to do something talking about my first Will Smith movie set that I was on. But yeah, I don't know what you're referencing. Shit, Diddy done lubed out the bars, though. Granted, a lot of people went to his parties. I mean, they were pop culture myth. It was just like the Diddy white parties, It's like they had pictures on all kinds of magazines. It was like the it thing to be invited. You know, I got to work with Diddy's son. I never tried to get to one of those parties, but I understood the appeal. Uh, but yeah, different strokes for different folks. No, no pun intended. Anywho, internet. This is much later than I was expecting to go, though. But I appreciate you guys coming with me. Uh, and I'll try to do these things in a more timely manner. I was actually supposed to be doing something else tonight, and then my night opened up, so I decided to catch it live. And yeah, it was good to see you guys. And like I said, I'm gonna do this more often on a consistent. Well, it's hard to pick um, days of the week because sometimes shit just happens. But um, yeah, I will be probably going live this weekend. Maybe even I'm gonna check my schedule, but I'm gonna tap in with you guys again shortly. And yeah, the thing coming up on Monday, we're gonna film that too. So um, yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys what I've been working on. LOL, good to see you again, Nate. Assalamu alaikum. G, I for real grew up with you and still reference a lot of your stuff. Well, it's good to be a part of people's journey. That's how I know you're on the right path, man. I mean, I got, I was blessed to have encountered some of the people who grew up with my content, and I know that they are the change makers. They are the fucking reporters. They're the journalists, the people who are continuing to move the country forward. Even though I got shut down, the inspiration that I put out there continues to move people forward. And that's like one of the things it's honor. It honors me. I'm humbled by it at the same time. But to um, be able to encounter people uh, who found their life's work with help from some guidance from me talking on the internet is that's kind of big stuff, and I'm appreciative of it. I appreciate you taking the time to stream and share knowledge. Well, those who know must teach. The ignorance of the oppressed is the greatest weapon of the oppressor. So um, don't give your enemy anything, any weaponry. So you stay sharp, stay wise. Um, yeah, stay vigilant and be good to each other. Peace. I work cybersecurity now. Everybody who knows me knows I used to watch your stuff all day. Well, yeah. Well, I hope you we can count on you to use your cybersecurity skills uh, to go against the oligarchs. Well. I'll put up the rewind of um, fucking what's the name of this shit? Swordfish. It's when these hackers they end up stealing all this money and then put it in the accounts of random people, and then just you wake up and you got like $300 million in your account for a few minutes. We need hackers to do stuff like that to America, but we could do like 300 billion, and then all I need is like 2 hours with the money. Just enough to buy a house, just enough to buy a new car, and then just then you can put that money in someone else's account who needs it. So hopefully that's what you'll be doing with your cybersecurity talents. All right, internet. I'm just gonna get off before my devices die. Be good to each other. Peace.